Hey guys, this is Shane here from Echo Soundworks, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can layer pianos together to get a big, full, and unique sound. So this is helpful for a lot of different genres. Obviously, we hear this all the time in a lot of different house music. We hear it in different forms of EDM, even pop, right? So the reason why I wanted to put this tutorial together is because layering pianos together can be kind of a pain in the ass. Layering is a little bit difficult in and of itself, but when you're layering sounds like pianos together that take up both a lot of space in the frequency spectrum as well as the stereo field, it can be kind of hard to pull it off and get one cohesive sound. So we're gonna be doing this in Logic in this video, but you can apply these ideas, these principles to really any DAW. So let's get started. All right, so I've broken up this concept into like an easy to follow recipe. We're breaking it up into 3 ingredients. You're gonna need at least 2 for a layered piano, right? But usually 3 will get you a great sound, and sometimes you can go more. I think I have 5 in this example. But the 3 that we'll be focusing on in this video are the center piano. That's gonna be the piano that's in the center of your mix, right? So it's very mono, just pretty much all the way mono actually. Now the second element is going to be the wide piano. This is gonna be kind of filling out the stereo spectrum, making the piano have width in the left and right part of the stereo image, right? If you're wondering why don't we just leave it as a stereo instrument because that would have width. Well, this technique allows you to decide, how loud the wide part of the piano is and what frequencies are adding the width. So you can have it really fit your mix. Now, the third thing we're gonna be looking at is the character piano, the unique element, right? So this will be specific to your track. So this could be a synth, it could be a key, it could be a bell, it could be anything you want. It's just something that's going to add a little bit of attack and a little bit of character to the sound. Makes it actually sound a little less piano-ish, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's listen to the track with everything else muted besides the pianos and the drums. So let's check this out. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do before we take a listen to the center piano in isolation is we're gonna turn off all of the group or bus processing. So I'm gonna hold down Alt or Option on my keyboard, swipe, and all of those different plugins or effects will be off. So now we have just the center piano. So let's listen. Right, so it sounds almost kind of boring and bland, and that's by design. This sound is doing 2 specific things. It's filling up the center of my mix in terms of the piano, and it's also making our layer have a piano sound. If I mute this one or just solo the other ones, it's gonna sound more like a weird kind of a synth key sound. Right, so without this one, it doesn't even really sound that much of a piano. Now we're using our contact piano. It's called the X Grand. So when we made this, we did a couple things that would make it a great candidate for layering. So this piano in its default state default stage sounds like this. Right, so just a good, clean sounding piano. So what all I did was I turned our tone knob all the way up, and as you turn that up above 70%, it cuts out a lot of the low frequency and makes it brighter. So that kind of helps kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm already reducing my low frequency content, which I don't want a lot of low frequency content because this is in the center of my stereo image. Obviously my bass is going to live there, my kick. So we also turned our stereo image knob all the way down, so our piano is in fact in mono. All right, and I did load up FabFilter Pro Q2. You can use any EQ for this, and I'm just cutting out some of the low frequency and some of the high frequency, right? I want my high frequency to come from, the unique layer or maybe the wide piano. I just want this to be basically the mid-range of the piano. All right, so let's listen to the wide piano. And it doesn't sound great on its own either, just like with the center piano, but that's by design. So let's play the wide piano and the center piano together now. All right, that's sounding better. So you'll notice as we add each layer back in the fold, it starts to sound better and better. So I'm using a different piano for the wide layer. I'm using Native Instruments, the Giant. I could have copied and pasted our X Grand piano, but I liked how it sounded having a whole different piano. So you guys can mess around with that. Sometimes it's, it works better with the same piano and you just do the processing that we're going to look at right now, or other times it works better when you use a whole separate piano. So what's making it have that wide sound? Well, it's just simple mid-side EQ. So mid-side EQ could be a whole video in and of itself, so I'm not going to go in real depth about what it is, but I will explain it, for this video. So basically what I wanted to do in this example is I wanted to reduce the frequencies in the middle of the stereo image using mid-side EQ where my center piano are taking up all the same frequencies. So if we look at my center piano, we know it's right up the middle, right? That's why we're doing mid-side EQ. If we look at the EQ on that, we can see that there's no highs up here and there's no lows, right? It's just kind of this middle of the frequency spectrum. So I want to reduce those frequencies with my mid-side EQ. So what I've done is I've loaded up a high, down here we have a bell curve, and it has a pretty high gain, I guess low gain rather, but it's reducing about 10 decibels of gain, 11 decibels, and I have a really wide Q, and it's set to mid mode. So in FabFilter Pro Q2, you just can right click and hit mid, side, or stereo, so set it to mid. If we solo this, we're reducing that amount of frequency content from the middle of the mix, right? So it kind of carves out the middle, and when you layer it back in with the center, that's what helps give it that wide sound. So I've also done the same thing with the low frequencies, the high frequencies, and I've added some high frequency to the sides of the mix. We can see here we have stereo placement set to side, and I'm using a high shelf to add this frequency to the sound. Right, so it just makes it a little bit brighter, kind of plays into the color and the energy of the track. All right, so now we're gonna check out the unique layer. Now, this could be anything. It's just something that makes the piano unique, kind of unique to you and unique to your track. There are no rights and wrongs with this. It just really depends on what you're going for. So I'm using two sounds. It's the same sound panned left and right, but I tweaked one sound a little so it actually, be different. You could differentiate it from the left and right channels. So I'm using a patch from our pack, the X Keys. It's a bell. It sounds like this. And I'll play both of them once. I copied and pasted the bell to the second track, and I just changed the fine tuning and I changed the filter setting a little bit. So when we play these together, it is actually distinguishable, and it does add width to our stereo image. Right? It doesn't just sound like the exact same thing. So that's what's nice about when you're duplicating synths. You can just tweak some of the settings like the phase, the wavetail position, fine tuning, and it will help you, get that doubled sound. So I chose this sound because it fit the vibe of the track. I'm going to turn these up a little bit, and we're going to play it with the center piano and the wide piano. Right, it adds that nice kind of brightness to the sound, which fits the vibe of this track. But you guys could use really anything you want. Now, I did add a little bit of transient shaping to it to make the transient kind of hit a little bit harder. And I did add some FabFilter Pro Q2 to just take out all the low end. Again, we don't want low end in the piano, or a lot of low end in this example, because our sub bass and our bass. So we're going to be looking at the group processing. So I have a lot of different things going on making this happen. And you don't have to do everything I'm doing. It's just, kind of a roadmap. There's some things I think you will need to do. So first thing you're going to want to do is load up an EQ and just look and see if you need to clean up any more frequency, right? So I loaded this up and saw that we have a lot of low end happening still. And I want, space for my sub bass, which is right here. So if I solo that. So I don't want those low frequencies, so I just removed them. All right, next up we have a compressor. I'm just using a compressor to kind of tighten up the sound. It's not too extreme of a setting. It's just a few decibels of gain reduction. Next up, I loaded Logic's stock exciter. You could use another exciter, but what this is gonna do, and we'll solo this for you guys so you can see what it's doing, is it's gonna just kind of color the sound. It's gonna add some harmonics to it. So let's make it nice and big so you can see what the hell is going on. All right, so I'm gonna turn dry signal off. So what you're hearing are the harmonics added by the exciter, and you can choose your frequency. Let's turn the harmonics back down. Right, it's just bringing out a little bit more color into the track. We'll play that now with the FabFilter Pro Q, the compressor together. All right, so that sounds good, about 3,500 hertz. So next up, I used a little bit of OTT. Can't ever go wrong with OTT, right? This is just gonna add a little bit of a mojo to it. And then we have a little bit of kickstart, right? 4 on the floor type track. Now this is not something you have to do if you're not working on 4 on the floor. You'd probably want a side chain or whatever it might be, or maybe you don't want to, but I wanted the piano just to duck a little bit when my kick hits. So simple. And then finally we have a little bit of reverb. Put all that together and we get All right, guys, that's going to sum up this video. If you have any questions or comments, post those below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of the tutorials that we are releasing. And if you haven't followed us on Instagram, I'll link below. Go do that because we're releasing a bunch of kind of short form tutorial tips and tricks on there, and we're also doing a lot of giveaways on our Instagram page. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.